All right, let's get this show started.
Kevin Lee reveals the real reason behind why he's returning to MMA. Lee announced plans to come back just 6 months after hanging up his gloves following a 55-second submission loss to Rinat Fakhretdinov under the UFC banner in July. Now, in an interview with Middle Easy, the 31-year-old revealed why he's coming back, saying, "I've probably been thinking about it for the last 2 months or so. The one that really kind of pushed me over the edge was a conversation that I had with my mom. She said that the smile on my soul is gone. I remember repeating it back to her to make sure I heard it right. I was like, man, that's deep. My takeaway from it was just that I needed to fight again. It had already kind of been like in my mind. It had already been something that I keep being driven to." When she said that, I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm 31 now. If I'm going to make a run, now is the time, and I don't want to live with no regrets. I really need to see this thing through. I need to see my life through and feel good for myself. Lee also named Tony Ferguson, Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler as possible return opponents. He continued, "There's a couple great fights I'm interested in. Tony Ferguson maybe, the winner or loser of Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler. I'm honestly not focused too much on opponents right now. I think I have a long road ahead of me as far as getting healthy goes. 2, getting into shape, and 3, signing a contract. Then maybe we can look at location and then talk about opponents." Themba Gorimbo explains why he's offended by Dricus Du Plessis' African comments. Zimbabwean UFC welterweight Themba Gorimbo aims to become the next UFC champion from the continent, following in the footsteps of Kamaru Usman, Israel Adesanya, Francis Ngannou, and Du Plessis. DDP claims to be the only African UFC champion who both trains and resides on the continent. However, Gorimbo is skeptical of Du Plessis' remarks. In a recent interview on MMA Today, the Zimbabwean fighter said that DDP should have never said that, as he's also training and living outside of the African continent.
He is African, right? He was born in South Africa, raised in South Africa, trained in South Africa, but the issue comes when he said that the truth in his statement, people want to brush it off and whatsoever, but you know, when you see things for what they are, I saw the interview and I was offended by it. I don't see eye to eye with Dricus right now because of that, you know, because you don't discredit people just because they left a place and go somewhere else for the better of their lives. Of course, I am admiring what he has done, or as a person achieving what he has done to become the champion, living and training in Africa. But don't get us wrong, he has been traveling to Thailand since he was 17. His parents have got money. He can afford to go and train all around. He was here in Florida recently or whatsoever. And then for us as African guys, like, you know, who come from the poor background and stuff like that, and when you see us having our parents and stuff like that, leaving the continent to go for greater good.
Dana White shuts down a June return for Conor McGregor. On New Year's, McGregor announced that his return would be on June 29th to face Michael Chandler. However, it seems that the fight is no longer planned for International Fight Week, let alone for UFC 300. In a recent interview on the Pat McAfee show, the UFC CEO mentioned that they still don't have a date and expressed his hope for the fight to take place in the fall.
Yeah, so just, I'm a mark. Conor McGregor's fighting Chandler.
Eventually, yeah. Hopefully this year.
No, I heard we got a date. We didn't have a date. Chandler's pushing for a date. People are pushing for a date. Conor said he knows a date. Everybody has a date. You're the guy that got to set the date. You should say the date.
There is no date.
Come on!
I'm hoping for the fall. We get it done in the fall.
Okay, so is that for...
And when are you playing blackjack with me?
As soon as possible.
I thought we were playing.
The MMA community was clearly not happy with the update. Here are some reactions. I feel like Dana is lying and has a Conor fight lined up for 300. Why? Why sideline Conor and waste his remaining fight years? He's old now in the fight game. If I'm Chandler, I'm suing Dana and the UFC because they did this reality show last year and no fight. Now you are making Chandler wait literally almost 2 years for this big money fight when he could have made that bag in that 2 years, but now you are having his career on hold. Shaking my head. The UFC is sidelining Conor because they want to try to prove to themselves they can thrive without him. Went from January 2024 to UFC 300 to Fight Week, summer, now fall. The fact McGregor fans can't realize he's never coming back is sad. If he does, it's for a retirement fight. Dana is always trying to change the subject. Now I'm convinced he likely does not want to pay McGregor. In another month, Dana will be talking about Xmas 2024. By June, he'll be planning Conor's comeback for March 2025. If Chandler had fought 2-3 times in this 2-year wait, he'd have earned what he would earn fighting Conor. I'm convinced the UFC just doesn't want to pay Conor. Fall. They're totally screwing Chandler unless he's getting paid behind the scenes. Rampage Jackson apologizes to Ian Garry. During a recent appearance on the MMA Hour, Rampage revealed that Ian Garry was invited to come on his Jackson podcast, but allegedly rejected it, saying that Quinton was going to make fun of him. Rampage also touched upon the long-running rumors pertaining to Garry and the latter's wife, and even called Ian a cuck. Shortly after, Garry fired back and revealed he will no longer go on Rampage's podcast, which they had scheduled to record on Monday.
Quinton Rampage Jackson went on Ariel last night and spoke about how I turned down his podcast because I was afraid of being made fun of. I've got the on Monday of fight week. I've got him in like 4 days. I'm on his podcasts. And he goes on, he calls me a cook, and he's, Ian the cook, he didn't even know my name, and he's like asking Ariel, does his wife really have a boyfriend? No, you tick. No, because you're believing absolute bollocks and lies from other people. Imagine running a podcast and not knowing who your next guest was. Imagine being that fucking stupid and then going on Ariel and speaking about it. Well, I can tell you one thing. Yeah, definitely not having me on now because you're a idiot and chatting mad shit. Good luck, take care. I wish you nothing but fucking gall.
Now Jackson posted a video where he apologized to Ian for his comments and said that it was just a joke.
Yo guys, this is your boy Rampage. I just gotta tell y'all, man, you fighters that come on the Jackson podcast, man, it's all respect, it's all love. Y'all know I just be joking, man. I got much respect, mad love for all y'all. I just be joking, man. I be trying to be a comedian too much. But I've been trying to tell y'all for years, I'm a comedian pretending to be a fighter, man. So, you know, I've seen some of the clips that I've been doing. I mess up Volkanovski's name. How you say his name?
Volkanovski.
Oh goddamn, it's hard. It is hard to say. To Ian Garry, you know what I'm saying? I do feel bad because he don't know me. He never met me. He probably didn't even, you know, see my fights or whatever. He don't know my personality. He don't know that I just be joking. But it's all love, man. I love all y'all, man. Mad respect to everybody to get out there and fight. Everybody, I got respect and love for everybody but Shannon Briggs. That motherfucker, that chocolate fucking walrus looking motherfucker. But everybody else, like all fighters, mad love to all y'all. But Shannon Briggs, that motherfucker.
Time for today's top memes. Third place was found over on Reddit and was posted by Sam's Manga. Second place pick was found over on Instagram and was posted by Dramadro. And the top picked meme was found over on Instagram and was posted by Beaver Smash TV. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe to stay in the talk.